Alrighty, what's up guys? Welcome back to a new video on East Coast Manga. So today we're going to be talking about the manga reading log that I've gone through for this month. I've read a pretty decent amount of volumes. I'm super excited once again to be making videos, and I'll say this in my manga haul video, but I mean, just to be able to do this and have my manga out and have these shelves, I mean, it's given me a nice boost in just wanting to be reading manga and wanting to be collecting manga. But let's get into this manga reading log because once again, I've read some really good stuff this month. So the first thing I want to show you guys is we have A School Frozen in Time, volumes 1 and 2. And this is a really good series. I've been enjoying this a lot, and I'll say this again in my manga haul, which will probably be the next video after this one maybe. But I'm not going to be able to show artwork in these volumes because of copyright issues that are coming out of Japan that other creators are getting hit with. I don't want to deal with that, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to show you the art, but you can go on Google and Google will be able to show you exactly what the artwork looks like. But A School Frozen in Time is really excellent. It's, without trying to spoil anything, it's about this group of kids who get trapped in this school on this super snowy day. Basically they show up for school, realize there's no one else in the school, and they're not able to get out. There's some type of like mysterious force that is keeping them in. There's also one of their classmates who ended up jumping off the school and killing herself, I think maybe like 3 weeks prior to this event at the school festival. And now all the clocks are frozen, they have no idea what's going on, and there's basically this spirit or ghost saying, "Do you remember?" through the phone. So it's definitely a supernatural type of manga. It's also kind of similar to A Drifting Classroom if you've read that, or I guess kind of Doubt/Judge vibes, just kind of the darkness of it. But there's 4 volumes out. I have 2 of them. I've read both of them. I've really enjoyed them, so I'm really looking forward to grabbing the next 2. Next I'll go over this real quick, but we have Velveteen and Mandala or Mandela. This manga sucked. I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. I have a whole video talking about it, so I'm not even gonna spend time. I just want to let you guys know. Yeah, I read this month and it was absolute garbage. Go check out the video if you want. I would say it's probably worse than A Girl on the Shore, and you guys know how much I dislike that manga. Next, I read this month the entire series of Blue Flag 1 through 8. I had already read volume 1, but I needed to reread since I wanted to read the whole series. Since I was able to get volume 7, you guys will see in my manga haul me talking about that. But this was a really great series, but I will say I have a very strong opinion on the ending, and I'll also once again mention this in my manga haul. If you guys want to see that and a separate video, just a Blue Flag video, let me know and I can do that. But I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who has not finished it yet, because I know a lot of people are waiting to be able to purchase it because random volumes go super out of stock, like super out of stock. And for anyone who has been under a rock and doesn't know anything about Blue Flag, it is essentially this high school love triangle, but I don't mean that in like a sexual or a graphic way. It's just more like in a feelings way. It's not a very graphic manga at all. But yeah, overall, I would say I really enjoyed the story, but yeah, if you guys know, you know. Next, I was able to read these 2, Waltz and Miss Kusakabe. I've actually read this one before, but I was able to read it physically. These are both short stories by Shuzo Oshimi. This one is not for the faint of heart if you don't, if you're not okay with graphic sexual content, then I probably would not read this. This is adults in here, but at the same time there's some really bad things. I actually never thought that series would get published in English, so I was shocked when I heard Dempo was doing that. And then Waltz. Waltz is a interesting story. It's a very short story. These are basically magazine sizes. They're just oversized print. But it's essentially about this boy who he essentially wants to be a girl, so it's kind of a trans type story, but there's also like some darker aspects to it that happen towards the end. Honestly, I wouldn't say it's one of his best works, but I would say it lines up pretty well with just the way he writes stories. Like, I wasn't shocked by some of the things that happened. But yeah, I mean, I actually never heard of this before Dempo picked it up. I've read some of his other stuff, like the Drifting Net Cafe, and then there's another story which I'm not sure if I finished, but it was pretty interesting. Basically, this kid gets ghost powers, and he's able to, like, at night, go anywhere he wants and be invisible and go through stuff. I don't know. But yeah, I would say unless you're really collecting Shuzo Shimi pieces, I wouldn't say this is either of these are really a necessity to grab. And these are also kind of hard to find because they were the New York Comic Con exclusives, although Dempa has released some of them outside of New York Comic Cons. They still had some stock left, so they were able to sell them on Twitter. Next we have a manga which I feel like gets a lot of hate, but I don't know, I liked it. I thought it was kind of funny. Like, I take it more as a comedy than anything else, and that series is Gigant, or Gigant. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'm close enough either way. And this is essentially about a porn star in Japan who gets this power to be able to go like supersized. And I don't know, like I know a lot of people have gripes and stuff about it, but I really didn't think it was that bad. I kind of just took it for what it is. It's definitely a series I could see myself. I have 2 other volumes, but I've only read this one. But I could see myself continue reading this. I don't know, I think it gets a lot of hate for no reason because, like, no, this isn't going to be like Gantz. And I think some people really like Gantz, and then they read this and they're like, alright, this is like nothing like Gantz. So I don't know, that's maybe my opinion on it, but yeah, I really didn't think it was that bad. The next series that I read this month, which I'm actually only halfway through because I did read it last night, but I'm taking advantage of this sunny day and hopefully the colors look good, and so I wanted to throw this in because I have been really enjoying the story. But we have, I believe it's pronounced Mashel, and that is volume 1, Mashel, Magic, and Muscles. And I explained this a little bit in my manga haul, which once again I'm referring to because I just recorded before this one, and I believe it's actually going to be the video after I upload this one, but I'm not 100% sure on the order yet. But this is a really cool story. This is, I would say, has elements of Harry Potter and like Black Clover, maybe a little bit of My Hero, but it's essentially your story of this kid who doesn't have the powers or the magic that everyone else does in the society, and he has to make up for that in strength, and he's just ridiculously strong. I would say almost like OP, like One Punch Man OP, at least like at the beginning. And I don't know, it's something I've really been enjoying, at least the first half of last night. And the only reason I only read half was because it was so late, so I had to give up, or else I wasn't going to remember anything I read. But I do have one more volume, so I will read this one and the next one, and let you guys know next month what I think of volume, or all the way up to volume 2. And the next series, or the last series that I have read this month, which is actually one of the first series I read this month, is we have Requiem of the Rose King, volumes 1 through 5. This is all that I've read this month. Really interesting story. I've heard great things about this story. I also know some people who didn't love it, but the reasoning for them not liking it, I don't really know if I agree with. I think it's one of those things that if you kept reading, you'll kind of like, it'll be fine. But yeah, 1 through 5 of this series, really cool. This story takes place in medieval England, and it has to do with Henry VI and Richard III. I think it also is based off of kind of a Shakespearean novel. I'm not 100% sure on like the historical background, but I know it does have some historical background, but it's written in a way where it's like totally remixed and kind of changed up to obviously what the author wants to write about. It's definitely something different. It's something that is like kind of out of what I would normally read about, but I heard such good things, so I'm like, alright, let me pick this up and let me check it out, and it's been fantastic. I've taken a little bit of break just because like 5 volumes of a series is a lot to read in a month sometimes when I want to like check out so many other things, so I will be going back. But there's just so much stuff in my collection I've wanted to check out and I've wanted to read that like I knew I wasn't going to be able to binge all 13 volumes, but I will be going back and letting you guys know in the future what I think of it. So I think right now I'm a little under halfway through the series for what is already printed. But yeah, once again, this is the type of series where if you want a separate video on this, I can also do that, but I don't want to spoil too much because there is a issue with the main character which is pretty significant, and you kind of like pick up on as you go. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this manga reading log. I am super excited once again to be back making videos, and the fact that like I see so many familiar faces and also new faces in the comments, it's just awesome. So if you guys made it this far, let me know down in the comments, what have you guys read this month? I'm very curious what people are reading like up to date, you know? But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I will catch you guys later. Peace out.